Steve and I were in an earlier band which met its demise, and we reformed, or wanted to reform, a new band, sort of taking a little bit more control of what we wanted to do and not be so mainstream. Like all bands, it's easier to join a band and make one. Very difficult. We had a lot of personnel come and go, but now we have 4 members that are absolutely rock solid and the sound is good. Gary Moore, without a shadow of a doubt. Does it all. Blues, rock, fast, slow, passion, technique. Got it all. The very, very best. For me, Ibanez, and all of my gigging guitars are the Ibanez Artist. I have 6, and I gig 3 of them, and the earliest one being a 1980, which is my Black Beauty. It's gone through many guises of pickups and pots and all the rest of it, but as good as any Gibson out there for me, and it plays like a dream.
Me and Dave, we played in a band previously called Old School. We found that we weren't really going in the direction we wanted to go, and we both had the same sort of feelings about what we wanted to do. So we decided to leave there and start up this new project, naming it Empty Rooms. Well, as stated, me and Dave, we wanted to start doing stuff that we wanted to play. We wanted to play to people who wanted to listen to it as well. Fans of Gary Moore, hence the name Empty Rooms, and that's the sort of genre we wanted to play as well. So we got together, we sat down in a pub and decided which way we were going to do it. We then went down the route of trying to recruit people who had the same sort of ambitions and wanted to do the same sort of thing that we wanted to do. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't an easy task, and considering that we haven't been going that long, we've had quite a roster change in that short time, but I do think now that we've found a group that gels well together, all four of us. Well, there's too many to list, to be honest, but the two main ones that come to mind will be Gary Moore, who I admire as a vocalist, not just as a guitarist, and mainly as well Paul Rogers from Bad Co and Free. Don't try and emulate what they're doing, and don't try and copy them, but you take inspiration from lots of different characters and people, and you just try and come up with your own way of doing things while adapting ways that they've done things as well. Well, at the moment, as you said, we're playing a lot of Shropshire venues and playing most of the key places around here. A couple of places that we've had big involvements with, one of which is the Navy Club in Newport. We've also recently played in Albert's Shed, which seems to be really taking off around here with musicians. We're looking to basically build on from there. Places where it could be theatre based, it could be festival based, anything like that really. We're just looking to progress further than we are now.
I used to play in a band called Stonewash Blues Band, and there was a period of time when we weren't doing anything, no practice, no gigs, and I kind of got a bit bored because I liked to be playing. And I answered an advert in the music instrument shop, like you do. Ring this number, Empty Rooms needs you. So I basically rang the number and turned up for a test, if you will, and never really looked back from there. I think I fitted in reasonably well. I mean, the guys are pretty easy to get on with, and we all like the same kind of thing, and so I'm pretty happy playing almost anything, as long as I'm enjoying myself, and it's been good fun. I mean, I listen to a wide range of different music, different bands, and I listen to it for different reasons. So I go through phases. Spent quite a bit of time listening to Joni Mitchell, and then of course you've got Jaco Pastorius on the bass playing crazy fretless stuff, and I do like the sound of the fretless bass. I have dabbled with that. And then there's other bass players. I mean, Pino Palladino is a fairly iconic bass player, and I do like the way he plays, although I can't really claim that he's an influence. I think the closest person that I get to who has actually influenced the way I play and the way I sound is Jack Bruce. Possibly not the same dexterity as he might have had, but I do think that with a combination of singing and playing at the same time, that's probably a fairly good person to name as an inspiration and an influence on the way I do things. Yeah, well, if you see us as a band playing, what you'll see me on fairly budget instruments, because I find if they're easy to play, you don't have to spend a huge amount of money. So I've got a PV Zephyr, which is the budget version of some of the more fancy PV basses, and it's turned out to be brilliant as an instrument. It's dead reliable, it stays in tune, it's through neck, and it's very easy to play. And then more recently I had a bit of a phase of looking for headless basses, and I bought Hohner, the old copy of the Steinberger headless, and again very easy to play, stays in tune, and it's easy to carry about because it's that bit shorter. So I don't find the need to spend a huge amount of money. I do look, but I'm determined that the next bass I buy will be easy to play and not nice to look at.
I think from the 60s, when I first started playing, I got to a point where I was playing and supporting local amateur dramatics clubs and things, schools, that sort of thing. And then in the 70s I joined the Air Force, and that's where I really began to cut my teeth on playing drums. I was fortunate enough to get with quite a few guys in different bands over a 20-year span that allowed me to explore my drumming techniques, work in different bands and do different styles of music. It meant I spent a lot of time travelling up and down Europe in a van when I wasn't working for the Air Force. But that was all part of the scene then, and it was mainly Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Cream, and that was our biscuits at the end of the day. That was where we earned our money and got a bit of food in. I think over the years my ability has changed. I've aspired to be drummers like Mike Portnoy, Simon Phillips, Billy Cobham, Stuart Copeland have all been a big influence, especially Ringo Starr, I think, who taught me the very basics in the early years. Moving on from that, I recognise my own ability. I've never had drum lessons. I'm a drummer's drummer, and I work in a band as a drummer. But ask me to do a drum solo, then occasionally I will back away from it because technically there are lots of patterns and drum parts that I would like to play, but are now beyond my capability. What a shame. Having progressed from some of the good old-fashioned British brands like Beverley and Premier and Olympic, I now play Pearl Masterclass along with Avedis Silgian cymbals and Pace 602s. A variety I've collected over the years of different styles of drums for different types of bands. I found the most usable kit that I have at the moment is Roland TD20. A lot of people hate electronic kits, but you know, I really get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And the sound presence on stage is brilliant as long as you have the amplification. If I had the money, I don't know what I'd buy. I'd probably save it up.